Greetings, this is the exclusive coverage of the Hub of Africa Fashion Week by Arts TV on your Pan-African show called Africa with your host Katsalor Sefu. I hope you'll stay with us for a wonderful time with the Hub of Africa. Thank you. ሰላም እንደምን አደራችሁ እንኳን ደህና ቆያችሁን እንኳንም በሰዓት ተገኛችሁላችሁም ማህሌት ተክለማርያም እባላለሁኝ የሀብ ኦፍ አፍሪካ አዲስ ፋሽን ዊክ መስራች አዘጋጅ ነኝ ከኔ ጋር አብረው የተለያዩ ዲዛይነሮችና እንዲሁም ኤክስፐርቶች አሉ ከሁሉም ጋር ውይይት እናደርጋለን ያሁኑ የ12ኛ ዓመታችን ነው ይሄንን ፕሮግራም ስናዘጋጅ በዚህ በሀያት ሪጀንሲ አዲስ አበባ አጋር ፓርትነሮቻችን ናቸው ሀያት ሪጀንሲ ለሶስተኛ ጊዜ ነው እዚህ ስናዘጋጅ ከኢች ዋን ኦፍ them እንጠይቃቸዋለን ከጎንም ያለችው ዋሪዲ ስንት ከ2014 በፈረንጅ አቆጣጠር ጀምሮ አብራን የነበረች እንግዳ ነች ኤክስፐርት ነች ባየር ነች ኮች ነች ሜንተር ነች ብዙ ነገር ነችና እሷም አንዳንድ ነገሮች ተነግረናለች ስለዚህ ፕሮግራም ስለ ሀብ ኦፍ አፍሪካ ለምንም አብራን እስካሁን ድረስ እንደምትሰራ ከሷ ጎን ደግሞ ሪያ ከኬንያ የመጣች እንግዳ ዲዛይነራችን ነች የመጀመሪያዋ ነው ስትመጣ ከሷ ጎን ደግሞ ከሴኔጋል የመጣች ሳፊየቶ አለች እሷ ሶስተኛዋ ጊዜ ነው ስታቀርብ ያሁኑ ፕሮግራማችን በዚህ አመት ትንሽ ሰፋ ይላል የሚያደርገውም ከብዙ የተለያየ ሀገር ነው የሚሳተፉት ወደ 15 የውጭ ዜጎች ይገኛሉ በሚሳተፉ በዲዛይን እንደ እቃቸውን ለማቅረብ ማለት ነው ከዛ ውጪ ግን ባየር አለን የሚመጣ በአጠቃላይ ወደ 30 በላይ ይሆናሉ የሚመጡ እንግዶቻችን ባሁኑ ከሳውት አፍሪካም ትልቅ እንግዳ አለን ዲዛይነር በጣም የታወቀ በሱ ሀገርና እንዲሁም ወርልድ ዋይድ ይሄንን ይመስላል ከዋሪዲ ጀምራለሁ ዋሪዲ just say a few words who you are introduce yourself and yeah, just say a few words about Hub of Africa, your involvement with Hub of Africa for the audience. Thank you.
My name is Waridi Warta and I'm based in Germany. My company, Fashion Africa 254, I've been connected with Hub of Africa since 2014. I was invited as a guest buyer. And when I arrived during the time, I was so impressed. It was 2014. And it was so amazing to see the designers and who appeared in the show, the quality they had, and also the design and the ideas that I never expected to see in the continent. And what impressed me so much for Hub of Africa, the concept was not just about the designers and selling their clothes and showing their creativity. It was more about how to connect the Ethiopian people, how to bring togetherness, how to share the culture with the designers who were coming in, the international designers like Lali and Saraya, who are here now. And this really made me so passionate how I can work with Mahlet and the team who are also I was so impressed, even coming from Germany, to see how the team were working. I couldn't believe it. It was just like I couldn't feel there was something going on. Like it was just so smooth and so that brought me to see how can I work together with Hub of Africa. I saw there were some gaps in the designers' presentation and in the designers' collection, and coming from the background, more than 25 years in fashion and being also in the German industry, well known who I am and what I do. I thought it would be most ideal thing how to connect the African designers into the German platform. The German platform means not just Germany, but Austria and Switzerland and Scandinavia. And so doing that, we connected with Hub of Africa, how I can put in my expertise in mentoring the designers and then bringing them to a level that they are ready to come to the platform the German platform in fashion weeks and XYZ. So I'm really excited to be every year at Hub of Africa. It doesn't mean I just come during that 1 week. We work, Hub of Africa finishes, we see what is the gap. I work with Mahlet and the team, Nathan, and everybody just to see, okay, how can we progress my part, add to Hub of Africa and come to the next level. So I'm very excited for this year, Hub of Africa, after 2 years. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Waridi. Yeah, she does a lot. Recently, there were 6 designers that were featured in Berlin on a fashion exhibition that she mentored. So yeah, she's doing a lot of big things for a lot of these Ethiopian designers. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that. And then Ria, just say a few words. This is your first time here. Just for our audience, who you are, your brand.
Hi, my name is Ria. My brand is called Lila Bear. It's a Kenyan fashion brand. And yes, this is my first time at Hub of Africa Fashion Week. It is actually the brand's first international showcase. And Waridi has been instrumental in guiding and mentoring me through the process. And I'm really excited to be here and connect with designers from across the continent. I think that the Hub of Africa Fashion Week is really well respected, and it is an honor for me to be here and to be showing on the runway. So yeah, I think, you know, in Kenya we have a very emerging and budding creative scene and fashion scene, and to be so close that we can access the Hub of Africa is a real privilege. So yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to your collection. We've seen the promo you've been doing, so really, I'm really looking forward to what's to come. And Safietou Sek, this is her 3rd time, like I said, and just to say a few words and why she's always accepting our invitation to come, and Ethiopia, your experience here, your brand, how old it is, anything you want to share to the audience. Thank you.
My name is Safietou Sek. I'm from Dakar, Senegal. I am the founder of the brand Saraya. Saraya is now 7 years old. Yeah, that goes very fast. 7 years old. And yeah, this is my 3rd time in a Hub of Africa Fashion Week. It's always an honor to be here because I always said that we need to have connections between East and West Africa, because a lot of people tell me, why do you go all the way? Because trust me, traveling from the East, from the West to the East is just, you know, very difficult because there is always an experience with the, you know, airplanes and stuff. But to me, it's always worth it to come here because in my vision to connect, you know, all the sides of Africa, I think that Hub of Africa is doing an amazing job. And the fact that they're always thinking about inviting me is always an honor for me to come here. I've been to a lot of African Fashion Week. This is one of the best, I would say, in terms of organization, in terms of, you know, welcoming, you know, the guests, hosting the guests. And, you know, the designers always, you know, tend to go to, you know, the places that are very famous for Fashion Week. And I'm like, well, you go there, you will be one among so many. Whereas here, you know, people are doing a good job of you know, promoting, you know, the brands. So I'm an economist by training, but I'm very passionate about fashion. Fashion is really my love, and so. Yeah, I will. You know, it will always be an honor, you know, to come back here because I always wanted to congratulate you for what you guys are doing in terms of the organization. So thank you for inviting me again.
Unfortunately, we don't have our Ethiopian counterparts. We have quite a few talented, amazing Ethiopian designers showing this year as well. But I will take it to the hosts of Arts TV for any questions and so forth.
So we thank you for actually bringing Hub of Africa to Addis. And I know you've done it for a very long time, and I have to say congratulations for your great achievement. Every year it seems to grow, even though we haven't seen it for 2 years. It seems like this year has gone even bigger because I think everybody missed it. My question is, how do you pick your designers? Now, I know it's very difficult getting that communication going, but not to say that we've seen repeated designers, but Africa having 55 countries, we would like to see new designers.
Very good question too. So, in the past, we always put out an application on our website for any designer to apply, which we've done. I know for this one, sometimes also we invite through our partner also, who's in touch with a lot of African designers through their networks. So yeah, I mean, we still have a lot to come. I mean, like you said, it's 55, and there's so many amazing, talented designers in the continent that we have to really give a chance and showcase, no question about it. But yeah, that's something that we continue to work on and develop a bit more to give other designers a chance as well and to invite them for sure. Yeah, and hope that they accept our invitation. And
exactly,
yeah.
that's the other
But we
thing.
do, you know, what's challenging is sometimes for designers also, so we did invite maybe some from Nigeria. So some of the big ones, unless you bring them in as big guest designers, meaning covering all their flight, accommodation, all that stuff, which is sometimes difficult for us also. So, but there are many up and coming designers also that would love the chance to showcase on such a platform. Definitely, I think we have to continue focusing also maybe regional as well. Not to, of course, we always have someone from West Africa, even South Africa, North Africa, we had from Morocco. So definitely we'll have some designers from there, but also within the region, I think we, East Africa, from Rwanda, they're amazing designers as well. So we'll continue inviting, but how do we select? Sometimes we invite, we look, you know, because now you can look up Google and you find...
you can find anybody.
Yeah, which it wasn't the case 10 years
Exactly.
ago or 12 years ago when we started. It's like, yeah, okay, we want to organize an African Fashion Week. Where are the designers? How do we find them? And it wasn't that many then. So, yeah, but something we need to improve and, yes, invite new ones for sure, which we have, by the way, this year. We have quite a few new ones. Yeah, including Ria, Lila Bear.
Also, you have to understand there are quite a few fashion weeks in the continent. So also then there is a timetable of the world fashion calendar. And so it's always demanding to especially, I think, Hub of Africa have done a great job to stay on the dates always in October. So otherwise the designers always get, okay, if I'm going to go to Lagos and then I'm going to, like now after this, it's Lagos Fashion Week. So the designers have to make a choice. Do I do Lagos Fashion Week or Hub of Africa? What is really special also with the uniqueness of Hub of Africa is putting like, okay, quality of how to have their concept and to make it more, we say, be international locally, and others will come to you. Normally people want to go international, and then they think people come to them, but it's the other way around. And that's what I think the uniqueness of Hub of Africa is, very international locally, and also then when speaking to someone like Ria to come, I didn't have to convince her. You say like, yeah, I've heard about Hub of Africa, I want to come. And then I give more feedback and then communicate that. A lot of designers would like to come, but they have this conflict of the timetable. Also, where do I go? And also the budget. And then when they want to come, they say, okay, if you pay this, pay that, I will come.
Yeah, so then you have that.
So it's quite limited, but quality.
No, very valid point.
So
Did that
my
answer?
next question, did answer. My next question, because she touched on it, Safietu. She's coming from West Africa.
Yeah.
Now, we know how we only have one airline that actually goes everywhere. So when she wants to come to Ethiopia, the price that she's paying to come to Ethiopia, and this is one thing that I think also discourages our designers, is it's either she can come here or she can go to Europe, which is much cheaper. So how do you work, or do you even have any ability to talk to Ethiopian Airlines where they can give you a break, or they can support you to bring in some African designers that are coming from West Africa? Because the flight is very expensive. And then they have to come here, they have to also have accommodation, meal, transportation. So when they add up their budget, it's going to be too expensive.
It has to make sense, and
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. So as you know, with our Fashion Week, it is organized by private sector like myself, a private company. So it needs a lot of partners, right? Like Hyatt Regency, airline partners to accommodate them. Hyatt Regency is very gracious, accommodating all our guests. So with Ethiopian Airlines, so this is what we do. So we know it's expensive. So at least we cover the cost for them for accommodation. And as far as flights, Ethiopian Airlines this year is our partner, proudly. I'm happy. So they were able to support 2 of our guests, but I would love to do more.
I know.
We ask a lot, you know, because we want to invite a lot more people, and it's a part of the, you know, it's tourism, really, you know. So it does need the right partners, but Ethiopian Airlines is always happy to offer discounts, of course, and they did partner with us for this year, and they'll continue to do more, so we bring
Every
more
year, I
people.
hope, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
ብዙ ጊዜ ፋሽኖቻችንን ስናስተዋውቅ አለባበሳችንን ባህላችንን ስናስተዋውቅ በውጭ ዓለም ላለው ማህበረሰብ ነው ራሳችንን እየገለጽን ማንነታችንን እያሳየን ያለ ነውና ከውጭ ዓለም ምን አይነት አስተያየት ይመጣልሻል ከአፍሪካ ውጪ የሆነ?
ስንጀምር በመጀመሪያ እንዳልኩሽ የፋሽን እናዘጋጅ ብለን ግን ዲዛይነሮቹን የት እንደምናገኛቸውም አላወቅንም፣ አሉስ ወይ የሚለውን ማለት ነው። እና ግን ያው አሁን ከ12 ዓመት ሆኖታል። በጣም ሪስፔክት ተደርጎ ይታወቃል። ሁሉም እያየው ነው። በዛ ላይ ደግሞ የኛ ልብሶች ኮትን ነው፣ በጣም ሁሉም የሚፈልገው ነው። ገባሽ? ይመቻል በኢትዮጵያ ስናስብ ማለት ነው። በጣም ተፈላጊም ነው፣ ግን ትንሽ ይወደዳል ለውጭ ማርኬት ብዬ አምናለሁኝ። ምክንያቱም የእጅ ስራም ስለሚበዛበት የጥልፍ ምናምን ያለበትና ከውጭ ያሉት ኢትዮጵያኖች እንዲያው ሞር ያበሻ ልብስ እየለበሱ ነው ብዬ አምናለሁኝ ከመጠን በላይ። በዛም በጣም እያስተዋወቁት ነው ትራዲሽናሉንም እንዲሁም ኤቭሪዴይ ዌርም አሁን አንቺም ለብሰሻል አፍሪካና ከሙዚቃውም ጋር ተለውጧል። የአፍሪካ ኢንዱስትሪ የክሪኤቲቭ ኢንዱስትሪው ሙዚቃ ጭምር ታውቂያለሽ፣ የአፍሮቢት and ምንድነው አማፒያኖ ወርልድ ዋይድ የታወቀ ሙዚቃ ነው። ሶ is the fashion ትልቅ እይታ አለው። ትልቅ እንዴት ነው እንደ በፊት አይደለም፣ በጣም ለውጥ አለው ብዬ አምናለሁኝ የፋሽን እና የክሪኤቲቭ ኢንዱስትሪ በአፍሪካ ዙሪያ።
For me, you know, I think of Ethiopian fashion as one of the birthplaces of handloom. It's one of the original places that historically has incredible craft. And I myself, you know, that's how I practice my art. That's how I create fashion, with hand looming and, you know, lots of interest in the artisanal kind of design. And I think for me, the reason that I wanted to come here more than any other, you know, opportunities for fashion weeks around the world is because of that fact that I feel like I'm at home here, in that we share this in common, and to be able to come to, you know, a place like the Hyatt and sit at in the kitchen in the restaurant there, and you know, even the table napkins are this handloom cotton. I mean, it's such a joy, but it's incredible to be in a place that so strongly celebrates that outwardly. Yeah.
Now, fashion cannot go without music, because obviously even on the runway there's music accompanying the models. So I don't know if you've been asked this question before, maybe I have privately, but why do you not integrate music within this fashion week?
But we do.
No, but no, you don't. You know
mean
what
like,
I mean?
I think I know what
You
you
know
mean,
exactly
with live
what I mean.
performance and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
That's true. You know,
Yeah.
to answer that question, question because what we've been talking. Yesterday, I was talking with Ria with her production, and we mentioned how to bring these differences in the show. And for example, even last year I mentioned, like you could have an Ethiopian singer, because we have, for example, in Berlin, a famous trumpet player. So he comes and he made a not trumpet, we call jazz. Is it trumpet? No? Yeah, trumpet. Saxophone. Sorry.
I know when you said this, no, that's a saxophone.
I'm sorry because I sometimes thinking in German, So the saxophone player, and when he played that, it just sort of like everybody's freezing in that moment, and then suddenly the show starts, and you still have that music in your head. And if you have that bringing real people part of the show, it just brings magic.
It really does.
But I think one of the things is it's not. There has also to be budget to bring them in. And this is one of the biggest problem I can say loud to now the press. Hub of Africa lacks sponsorship, a continuous sponsorship. Mahlet suffers every year looking for sponsors. It shouldn't be like that. Internationally, globally, we have one sponsor or 3 sponsors, and they're with you every year. Every year Mahlet has to now, this is me, how I always speak, bag.
No, but unfortunately, you're right. It's not just her, but it's any kind of entertainment, even in the music, because I actually bring music. I'm an event organizer, so I do bring artists. But I've always wanted to actually...
Let me add. We did have music, so you weren't... So our January event... where we did you forgot as well, because you were there. Yeah. We did have live drum session for one of the evening, our opening night. It was a fusion live, but they were hidden in the back, so they couldn't be, you couldn't see them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, no, not just that. And then we celebrated Gannat Paradise, if you remember, for 30 years. So the way we opened it is we had an a cappella, a singer on stage. She opened the event. So we did incorporate. Yes, she forgot. So we do incorporate. Yeah, we do incorporate music. Music is everything, of course, as part of fashion. So yeah. We had it was really beautiful with the masinko and her singing.
So you've actually witnessed how beautiful it is.
It is.
This is the first time you've done it, is in January.
Yeah, with the live music?
Yeah.
I think so.
So you started.
Yes,
So
we
it's
did.
safe to say next year we will
Of course, more and more.
be doing something
more
big.
and more, absolutely.
What influences your designs and what drives your passion to create more Afrocentric designs? Now, I haven't seen your designs. I know hers.
I'm really driven by Africa in itself. And I feel like Africa has been absent in the international fashion scene. So wherever I go, whether it's in New York, Los Angeles, wherever, when I stay true to myself and to my origin, it really does make a difference. Because people say, she's using something that we have never seen before. So I think that fashion, I've always been like frustrated in general by fashion. By so many, whether it's the sizing, because the sizing doesn't respect the African sizing, whether it's the taste, everything is just flat and just, And I'm like, you really have to add a little twist by using whatever you have back home. Senegal is really known for, Senegal is definitely a fashion destination. I mean, we have the best tailors, and I'm really lucky to be there. But, there is the fact that I'm into fashion is coming from really passion, but, frustration from what is lacking, right now, whether it's color, whether it's, handmade things, whether it's, it's a lot of things. And it seems that wherever I go, that's what people tell me. and that they always tell me, there is always something different about you. But what they don't realize is that I'm really staying true to where I'm coming from, the artisanship and the handwoven and I think that here Ethiopia is doing an amazing things, as far as the looming and that's where it's very problematic in Senegal, because people do not realize how important what your competitive advantage in something is you have to take it into consideration. I remember one day I went to see the director of a government agency that is actually funding entrepreneurs. And when I told him about my venture, he said, "But why are you doing, hand weaving? You could do something much simpler than that." So they just don't get it. People just, as an economist, what I've learned is that what you do best is what you have to use for business, because that's what you do best. And to me, back home is, the hand weaving fabric, and the industry, unfortunately, is not where it is supposed to be. So coming here is always an inspiration to see, the fabric that you guys have. You guys are so independent, like you don't need to, it's not a hassle for you. I mean, you need local fabric, you just go get it. Whereas back home, it's not that easy.
Yeah, I think I absolutely agree. It's something that I as a designer could never take for granted, because I know how long and tedious the process has been to create that fabric. But what really, the thing that drives me, it's to be able to create that artisanal community and push it to thrive, because we're in, fashion is not this frivolous aesthetic thing. It represents so many people, it represents so many jobs, it represents so many skills, it represents communities and the environment. It's a direct reflection on our agriculture, and to be able to harness that in a way that is that honors the natural system and allows it to also benefit is something that's very important. And I would say that on this continent, there is just such a different way of living. I've been fortunate enough to have, I've traveled to quite a few places in the world, and, we really are so blessed because craft and, these skills and this art exists everywhere. It's just everywhere. It's on the street, and you won't even think twice about it, And I think that is the most inspiring thing, that we channel. I like to channel my story, and my story is my experience of witnessing, seeing, understanding, feeling, touching, experiencing all those things that, we may not even look twice at it as regular, we may think, oh yeah, they're just going about their day, these people are just making that, but that's so special, and that's something that nowhere else in the world has it quite like we do. Yeah, we're very blessed in Africa, I think.
Thank you. Yes, we are. So all of you mentioned buyers. So for our viewers that don't know what buyers are, if you could tell us what you have to go through to even get to a buyer as a designer. I mean, I don't know if I should ask them, but
I can answer. Yeah, well, Rudy can answer that. For us, this is the first time. Yeah, I know. She'll answer that quickly, but this is the first time we're introducing the B2B part, which is the connecting the designers with buyers. Yeah, so Waridi will explain, because she's one of them for that purpose. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just answer in short. So to understand also from my side, buyer doesn't necessarily mean a retailer coming to buy. So Mahlet always considers me as a buyer, which means with the visibility of the designers that who I see here, and I, from these two and beside others who have the potential to deliver and are ready for buyers to come to them and order. So, like the media partners that are in, like Vogue Italy, German Vogue, and also there's a new media this year, Icon magazine from Germany. The visibility to write them there already gives attraction to the buyers out there. That's one. And two, this time comes Industry Africa online shop, which is important in the continent, big time. And she's coming this time, for the first time, to Hub of Africa. And she is the buyer, you know, so she will meet the designers. So on Friday, we have 9 to 5, we're meeting the designers personally. So then comes what Nisha will see the potential that will come to her platform, and then they discuss all the pricing, the delivery, and if they agree between each other, and so on. So this is in short when you talk about buyers. Buyers are very, if you think when the buyers even in Lagos Fashion Week or South Africa have advantage because they have a big retail in their area, so they don't need international to come, so they invite them. So this is one of the things I told Mahlet, why don't we invite the retailers who are in Addis, but they're totally different. Their mentality is different from internationally. So, you know, and that's why also for designer, they need buyers from outside. But it doesn't necessarily mean from Africa. We have in Lagos a concept store, Alara. It's a big concept store. They should be coming here as a buyer, you know? So these are the next stages which coming from media to online, and then will come concept stores like Alara and so forth.
So what do you require from designers to actually be considered?
First of all, is quality, and first of all, if they have the capacity to deliver, you know, first of all, not only, I don't believe in mass production, in quantity, and that's what we always tell that African designers is not about mass. And that's why when the world is talking about sustainability, the African designers have been doing it, and they've been worried, how can we deliver in Europe? Because if they want 100 pieces, I can't deliver 100 pieces. And what I'm doing, changing the mind between the European, like, look, I have these two designers, they can deliver you 100 pieces, but it won't be one color. They can give you one design in 100 pieces, but could be 5 different colors. So this is also how they have to understand they can deliver, but they will not deliver 100 pieces of one color. And this is working now because it's the right time for African designers, because this is what the world is looking at. They want limitation, the value, the luxury of making that product. And this is the expectation from a buyer now. So it's your time.
Yeah, I agree. Just to quickly add on to that, because she also has to go. Yeah, this is the time for Africa. We have stories, and this is exactly, people are becoming more conscious about what they buy. They want to know who made it, where it came from, sustainability. This is what we talk about. And again, Africa's been doing that. You know, we don't throw anything.
No.
We'll just recycle it until it's completely, yeah, I mean, really. So Africa is,
We've been
you know,
upcycling.
Yeah, we've been upcycling and recycling and you name it. Yeah. So yeah, it's great things to come. And I want to thank all my guests and, you know, my designers, and there are a lot more. I hope since you are the media partner, you'll be interviewing and getting a chance to meet everyone and get their stories. And yeah, thank you so much.
You know, there's one question I think I might want to throw in, and it's for you too. Especially you, Safaya too, you've been here before, so you've seen Ethiopia's fabrics. And you being your first time, it could also apply to you going forward. Do you intend on actually infusing Ethiopian fabric within?
You know what? I'll be honest. Before I started developing my own textile, that was my first point of, you know, let me work with Ethiopian cotton because it's famous. I mean, I've felt it and I've seen it and I love it so much. So frankly, I would absolutely love to work with Ethiopian fabrics. The only problem is supply chain. So it's quite difficult to get things out of Ethiopia and to bring it into Kenya, which is honestly the only reason why I haven't done it yet. So if anything changes, you'll absolutely see some Ethiopian cotton Lila Bear pieces.
Do you think the free trade would help in
absolutely. I think that there's a huge opportunity, and I'm looking forward to leveraging and exploring that, because it's also not just the fabric. You know, I work a lot with brass, for example, and the brass craft here is second to none. It's one of my, most biggest points of inspiration is the brass, the silver, the gold, your metal works, the woodworks. There's so much opportunity in Ethiopia, and there's such a vibrant scene that, to be able to potentially have access to that is a very big deal. So I'm really hoping that, this will change soon.
I remember I made a visit here, and it wasn't with the Fashion Week. I made a visit, to really get into, the artisans and, the people who are doing hand weaving. At the beginning, I thought that it was very secretive. Because people, because it was very difficult. I was asking questions. Can I see the artisan? Can I talk to them? Because I really want to work with you. But it was almost impossible to do that. You see? And always, I thought myself, I should, African fabric for me is very important, and I like to make a collection out of each country's fabric, But then if I do that, she mentioned about the supply chain, because, with the social media can be a blessing, but it can be a curse. Because I remember that I did one day, there is an American actress who actually wore one of my stuff. It was deadly because it went viral, and I couldn't supply. That I could not deliver. So that's the thing. So yes, there is a lot that we African we need to do to make. We
really do.
Yes.
We need to want to work together. I think that's where our main issue is me coming to you, you openly telling me openly telling you, and having that unity, because we're trying to unite the whole of Africa. And if we can't even have a discussion openly that is transparent, then how are we going to unite?
Exactly, and especially when you go from one country to another country in Africa, and then you need a visa. I mean, just that, it's really complicated. Yeah.
I think also that, the opportunity for that conversation is really for all of us to understand the value of working together. And I think all of us sitting in this room today, we do get it, right? I mean, we and this is why this is a start. But this is why things like Hub of Africa Fashion Week are so important, because if we can connect on this level from all over the continent and bring, this kind of sense of unity in that this is African fashion, it starts to then trickle down. And once we start having those conversations with tailors, with weavers, with craftspeople, then the culture change. Culture change takes a long time, but I think things like these kinds of events are so important in facilitating that change.
Yeah, so on this note, I want to quickly go through the program we have this week, and I really would love to. Tomorrow is our opening night, so it's an invite only, but Thursday morning we have panel discussion with mentees that applied for our next phase. So that's in the morning, and we have an exhibition of about 18 designers. So it will be in the ballroom at the Hyatt all day. From 10 o'clock until 6 p.m. We have that exhibition, and then we have the runway shows also happening tomorrow, Thursday night. And then Friday, same thing, from morning until 6 p.m. It's open to the public. People can come and visit all these young, amazing designers on the exhibition. We have an Italian company also who will be doing a seminar on Friday. Would love to invite anyone interested to hear quality. When we think of Italy, it's made in Italy. We all know it's very well respected. So we do have a seminar to discuss about that and what that means. And So yeah, so that's happening. It's open to anyone that's interested to join us. And then we have the pop-up. You guys have a chance to, exactly, to buy to the public. Saturday and Sunday, full day from 10 to 6 p.m.
We had a exclusive press conference with Hub of Africa and a few of the organizers and designers. We had a Kenyan designer, Senegalese designer, and also Waridi, who's been helpful in the last 10 years with Hub of Africa, with Mahlet. And we would like to say thank you for giving us this exclusive press release. Hope you have a wonderful time.